boldly revisiting the stars. Join us as we catch up with the Star Trek, the Next Generation cast, then and now in 2025. In 1987, Patrick Stewart, aged 47, became the iconic Captain Picard in Star Trek, the Next Generation. His commanding presence defined the role, despite doubts about sci-fi. Interesting fact, producers fretted over his baldness, but Gene Roddenberry insisted it fit Picard perfectly. In 2025, Patrick Stewart, now 84, shines on. He reprised Picard in Star Trek, Picard, blending wisdom with grit. An advocate for domestic violence survivors, he still captivates audiences with his stage and screen presence. In 1987, Jonathan Frakes, aged 35, brought charm and swagger to Commander Riker in Star Trek, The Next Generation. As Picard's loyal first officer, his bold decisions and trombone playing flair won fans over. Interesting fact, Frakes grew a beard in Season 2, sparking the Riker's beard phenomenon, often tied to the show's improved quality. In 2025, Jonathan Frakes, now 72, thrives as a versatile talent. He directs episodes across the Star Trek universe, including Picard and Discovery, while occasionally reprising Riker. A beloved convention regular, his warm humor keeps fans beaming with joy. In 1987, LeVar Burton, aged 30, lit up Star Trek, The Next Generation as Geordi LaForge, the brilliant engineer with a signature visor. His warmth and ingenuity made Geordi a standout. Interesting fact, Burton's role on Roots inspired his casting, and he pushed for Geordi to evolve beyond stereotypes. In 2025, LeVar Burton, now 68, remains a cultural force. He hosts Reading Rainbow revivals, champions literacy, and directs Star Trek projects. Recently, he guest starred in Star Trek, Picard, delighting fans. His infectious optimism continues to inspire generations. In 1987, Marina Sirtis, aged 32, embodied Counselor Deanna Troi in Star Trek, The Next Generation. Her empathic betazoid abilities and compassion made Troi the heart of the Enterprise. Interesting fact, Sirtis's natural British accent was swapped for a unique betazoid one to reflect Troi's alien heritage. In 2025, Marina Sirtis, now 70, stays vibrant in the Trek universe. She reprised Troi in Star Trek, Picard, earning praise for her emotional depth. A fan favorite at conventions, Sirtis also voices characters in animated series and advocates for animal rights with her signature wit. In 1987, Brent Spiner, aged 38, captivated as Data in Star Trek, The Next Generation. His quest to understand humanity as an android struck a chord with fans. Interesting fact, Spiner's flawless performance inspired Data's iconic head tilt, a subtle nod to his mechanical curiosity. In 2025, Brent Spiner, now 76, remains a Trek legend. He reprised Data in Star Trek, Picard, blending nostalgia with fresh depth. Beyond acting, Spiner writes, sings, and engages fans at conventions, his humor and versatility keeping the spirit of Data alive. In 1987, Michael Dorn, aged 34, roared onto Star Trek, The Next Generation as Worf, the fierce Klingon security chief. His stoic honor and warrior spirit made him a fan favorite. Interesting fact, Dorn holds the record for most Star Trek appearances, playing Worf across TNG and Deep Space Nine. In 2025, Michael Dorn, now 72, continues to shine. He reprised Worf in Star Trek, Picard, showcasing the Klingon's seasoned grit. Active in voice acting and directing, Dorn also connects with fans at conventions, his deep voice and humor embodying Worf's enduring legacy. In 1987, Gates McFadden, aged 38, joined Star Trek, The Next Generation as Dr. Beverly Crusher, the Enterprise's compassionate chief medical officer. Her strength and warmth shone through, despite a controversial exit and return after season 1. Interesting fact, McFadden's background as a choreographer influenced her graceful performance, adding elegance to Crusher's role. In 2025, Gates McFadden, now 76, remains a beloved figure. She reprised Crusher in Star Trek, Picard, earning acclaim for her nuanced portrayal. Hosting the podcast Gates McFadden Investigates, she connects with Trek stars and fans, her creativity and kindness ever inspiring. In 1987, Majel Barrett, aged 55, dazzled as Laxana Troi in Star Trek, The Next Generation. Her flamboyant Betazoid ambassador brought humor and heart, often stealing scenes. Interesting fact, Barrett was Star Trek royalty, married to creator Gene Roddenberry, and voiced the Enterprise's computer across multiple series. Majel Barrett passed away in 2008 at age 76 from leukemia. Her final Trek role was voicing the computer in the 2009 Star Trek film, a fitting tribute. Her legacy as a trailblazer in sci-fi endures, with fans cherishing her vibrant contributions to the franchise. In 1987, Wil Wheaton, aged 15, stepped into Star Trek, The Next Generation as Wesley Crusher, the prodigy ensign. His youthful curiosity won fans, despite mixed reception. Interesting fact, Wheaton's role as a teen star mirrored Wesley's arc, and he named his blog WilWheaton.net after a TNG line. In 2025, Wil Wheaton, now 52, thrives as a geek culture icon. He hosts The Ready Room, recapping Star Trek series, and reprised Wesley in Star Trek, Prodigy. A writer and advocate for mental health, his wit keeps fans engaged online and at conventions. In 1987, Cole Meany, aged 34, appeared in Star Trek, The Next Generation as a recurring transporter chief, later becoming Chief Miles O'Brien. His everyman grit grounded the Enterprise crew. Interesting fact, Meany's role grew from a nameless extra to a lead in Deep Space Nine, a rare Trek journey for a supporting character. In 2025, Cole Meany, now 71, remains a versatile actor. He stars in films and TV, including Irish dramas like The Snapper. While less tied to Trek now, he occasionally reflects fondly on O'Brien at conventions, his warm authenticity keeping fans connected. In 1987, Denise Crosby, aged 29, joined Star Trek, The Next Generation as Tasha Yar, the Enterprise's tough security chief. Her fierce spirit shone, though she left after one season. Interesting fact, Crosby pitched Tasha's return as Sela, a Romulan daughter, adding depth to her Trek legacy. In 2025, Denise Crosby, now 67, remains active in sci-fi and beyond. She produces documentaries like Trekkies, celebrating fandom, and acts in shows like The Walking Dead. A convention favorite, Crosby shares her Trek journey with humor, keeping Tasha's bold spirit alive for fans. In 1988, Whoopi Goldberg, aged 33, joined Star Trek, The Next Generation as Guinan, the wise Elorian bartender. Her enigmatic warmth made 10 Forward a haven for the crew. Interesting fact, a lifelong Trek fan, Goldberg begged Gene Roddenberry for a role, inspired by Nichelle Nichols Uhura. In 2025, Whoopi Goldberg, now 69, remains a global icon. She hosts The View, acts in films like The Color Purple remake, and champions social causes. While Guinan's last Trek nod was in Picard, Goldberg's infectious energy and storytelling keep her a beloved figure at conventions. In 1988, Deanna Muldaur, aged 50, joined Star Trek, The Next Generation as Dr. Catherine Pulaski, the Enterprise's no-nonsense chief medical officer for Season 2. Her sharp wit and skepticism, especially toward Data, sparked lively debates among fans. Interesting fact, Mulder was a Trek veteran, having appeared in 2 original series episodes before TNG. In 2025, Deanna Mulder, now 86, lives a quieter life, largely retired from acting. Her last major role was in the 1990s, but her Trek legacy endures through Pulaski's bold presence. While she avoids conventions, fans still celebrate her contributions to the franchise's early days. In 1990, Patty Yasutake, aged 37, joined Star Trek: The Next Generation as Nurse Alyssa Ogawa, a compassionate sickbay nurse. Starting with Future Imperfect, her warmth and quiet strength made Ogawa a recurring favorite across 16 episodes. Interesting fact, Yasutake was considered for Keiko O'Brien's role, but landed Ogawa, later appearing in a Hallmark ad as her character. Patty Yasutake passed away in 2024 at age 70 from a rare T-cell lymphoma. Her final role was Fumi Nakai in Beef, earning acclaim for her fierce performance. She also reprised Ogawa in Star Trek, Generations and First Contact, leaving a lasting legacy in sci-fi. In 1987, Dennis Madalone, aged 33, joined Star Trek: The Next Generation as a stuntman, nicknamed Danger. He doubled actors and played roles like Borg, adding grit to fights. Interesting fact, he coordinated stunts for over 400 Trek episodes across multiple series. In 2025, Dennis Madalone, now 70, is a stunt legend. Less active in Trek, he shares tales at conventions. His 2002 patriotic song, America We Stand, as one keeps his name buzzing online. In 1991, Michelle Forbes, aged 26, joined Star Trek: The Next Generation as Ensign Ro Laren, a fiery Bajoran officer. Her defiance and depth made Ro a standout in 8 episodes. Interesting fact, Forbes declined a lead role in Deep Space Nine to avoid a long-term TV commitment, prioritizing diverse roles. In 2025, Michelle Forbes, now 60, remains a versatile actress. Known for 24, Battlestar Galactica, and True Blood, she recently starred in indie films. Though distant from Trek, her brief return as Ro in Picard thrilled fans, cementing her lasting impact. In 1991, Rosalind Chow, aged 33, joined Star Trek: The Next Generation as Keiko O'Brien, a botanist and Miles O'Brien's thoughtful wife. Her warmth shone in 8 episodes, grounding the sci-fi with humanity. Interesting fact, Chow auditioned for Tasha Yar before landing Keiko, later expanding the role in Deep Space Nine. In 2025, Rosalind Chow, now 67, continues to captivate. She stars in Three Body Problem and Mufasa, The Lion King, showcasing her range. While Keiko's Trek days are behind her, Chow's graceful presence at conventions keeps fans cherishing her heartfelt contributions. In 1987, John Delancey, aged 39, debuted as Q in Star Trek: The Next Generation. His mischievous, omnipotent trickster challenged the Enterprise crew across 8 episodes, blending wit and menace. Interesting fact, Q's costume inspired Delancey's playful delivery, and he had Libby lines that shaped the character's iconic flair. In 2025, John Delancey, now 77, remains a Trek treasure. He reprised Q in Star Trek: Picard, adding depth to the role. A voice actor in My Little Pony and a convention favorite, his charisma and storytelling keep fans enchanted by Q's cosmic antics. In 1990, Brian Bonsall, aged 9, joined Star Trek: The Next Generation as Alexander Rosenko, Worf's young Klingon son. His heartfelt scenes brought depth to Worf's arc across 8 episodes. Interesting fact, Bonsall was a child star from Family Ties, and his punk rock band Low Job later covered a TNG theme remix. In 2025, Brian Vonsall, now 43, leads a quieter life. He stepped away from acting, focusing on music with his band Bootjack and Bonds. While distanced from Trek conventions, his nostalgic return as Alexander in fan discussions keeps his Klingon legacy alive. In 1989, Robert O'Reilly, aged 39, joined Star Trek: The Next Generation as Garon, the fierce Klingon leader. His wild-eyed intensity defined the character across 12 Trek episodes, including Deep Space Nine. Interesting fact, O'Reilly's exaggerated eye movements were inspired by a stage director's advice to act with your eyes, making Garon unforgettable. In 2025, Robert O'Reilly, now 75, is a Trek convention staple. Retired from screen acting, he performs in theater and delights fans with Klingon-inspired energy. His voice work and nostalgic Garon tales keep the Warrior's legacy roaring for new generations. In 1991, Carolyn Seymour, aged 44, appeared in Star Trek: The Next Generation as multiple characters, including Romulan Commander Taris and Marasta Yale. Her commanding presence elevated each role across 3 episodes. Interesting fact, Seymour's versatile Trek career also includes Voyager, and her British stage training brought gravitas to every alien she portrayed. In 2025, Carolyn Seymour, now 77, remains active in voice acting, lending her rich tone to games like Mass Effect. While less tied to Trek today, she occasionally joins conventions, where her wit and stories about playing Romulans keep fans enthralled by her stellar legacy. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.